It's 6 a.m. and Peter and I are on our way to the Scottish Highlands. The trains are on strike again, so we're travelling by bus, which takes us 3 hours north to the town of Aviemore. Aviemore is a skiing town framed by farmland, forests, lochs and mountains. It's a special place for Peter and I, as we spent many holidays here as children, so we're really looking forward to experiencing it together as a married couple for the first time. I was surprised at just how at home I felt, though it had been many years since I'd visited. We stayed in a new-built, cosy apartment with panoramic views of the hills, and it was the perfect base to adventure from. My name is Kat, if we haven't met before, and I make videos mainly about mindfulness in Scotland, so lots of homemaking and cosy videos, a wee bit of cottagecore sprinkled in there as well. So if that's of interest to you, then you're most welcome to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and then you won't miss any future content. Also, if you're enjoying the content so far, then do be sure to like the video. It's the best way you can support the channel, and leave me a comment down below saying hi, and I can come and thank you. On our last holiday, we really tired ourselves out. We had a wonderful time, we did lots of hiking, but we ended up almost more exhausted when we came home than when we left. I'll leave the link to the video somewhere if you want to check that out if you haven't already. But needless to say, we really felt like this time round we needed a wee bit more of a calmer and more restful holiday. Things that we knew we wanted to do is we wanted to do lots of walking but not too much intense hiking. And we also wanted to spend a lot of time outside in nature in a variety of different ways, beginning with this beautiful trail walk to Boat of Garten.
It feels like the world is against you somehow, and your wheels just keep on spinning. Think you promised yourself once that it'd all be worth it. Now you're doubting your ambition. You've been working 2 jobs, still the bills are stacking up in this pile on the coffee table. Nothing's ever enough. Money isn't worth all the life that you're paying. I wonder when it all stops, when nobody want more, when we're done taking all for granted. Nothing's ever enough. Nothing's ever enough. Oh, when it's all going faster, and you can't get a hold of things, and you're longing and searching for something more. And you try to remember all the good things that your mama told you. It turns around, you see, it takes time, but you just can't believe that. Believe that. No, you just can't believe that. You just wanna be happy, wild and young and free.
And see the old man store. Okay. On the way home, we found a sign leading to a place by the name of Fairy Hill, so of course we had to investigate. The path led us through a woodland drifting with the scent of autumn to the centre, where a hillock rose like a dragon's back in the undergrowth. At the top was a cairn, a bench and prayer flags slow dancing in the breeze. As peaceful and enchanting as this place was, our journey led on, down the hill and back through the pine-carpeted forest, until we reached a window in the trees through which the most beautiful view awaited us. Even when the weather turned, the landscape remained achingly beautiful, only wilder in the misty rain. Though the autumn weather was setting in, one thing we really wanted to do while we were in the Highlands was to go for a wild swim in a loch. The first one we came to was a wee bit small, and we got the impression that the ducks didn't really want our company, so we walked on to Rothiemurchus, where we enjoyed a wholesome lunch and perused the gift shop, admiring Scottish crockery, textiles and apothecary items. Then our journey led on, through forests and glens, through sunshine and rain, the landscape invigorating us with its wild beauty, breathing fresh life into our bones. And eventually we arrived at Loch Eileen, upon which an ancient castle hovers on an island in the water. This castle was built over 500 years ago, originally as a holding against bandits, but it also saw many battles in its time as well. Now its days of war are over, and it's a popular spot for hikers, cyclists and wild swimmers in search of a little place of peace. The water was cold yet invigorating, leaving my hands numb and my heart warm. It was enchanting to swim out in the open with an ancient castle before my gaze and even older mountains guarding me on all sides. Is it just me or is the water warm now? Ouch. It's really hard to get out when you can't feel anything.
Your hand?
Can you help me? Thank you. Thank you. Oh. That was cold. Oh.
There you go.
Towel, please. Thank you. After our swim, we stopped off at an adorable wee gift and art shop by the name of the Whitecroft Company and enjoyed a hot coffee. It was such a magical wee place, so I'll leave a wee link in the comments in case you want to check it out. The next day we swapped the trail for the rail and went a little further afield. I couldn't remember the last time I'd been on a steam train, so this was a really fun experience, like going back in time or stepping into an old school movie. This is the Strathspey Railway, 10 miles of restored Highlands railway line, which is run mainly by volunteers. Thank you.
I'd recommend the far side if you want to get good pictures.
Oh, thank you. Our route took us to Broomhill and Abernethy, which is a really special place to Peter's family, and particularly my grandmother-in-law, who has always been so supportive of this channel. So hello Granny Eleanor if you're watching, I hope you're enjoying the video. After our cosy coffee and cake at Nethy Bridge House, we went on the river walk and wandered through the woodlands until the time came for us to catch our train home. Unfortunately, we weren't able to take our own bikes because of the train strikes, but Providence shone upon us, for the pastor at the church we visited on Sunday very kindly lent us his mountain bikes. There is something so fun and exhilarating about cycling, especially out in the countryside. Over rocky paths, through the forests and whizzing down the hills, we cycled for over 3 hours to reach the Highland Folk Museum in Newton Moor. I'm only going to give you a very small glimpse of the Highland Folk Museum, as this was actually an opportunity for me to collect footage for a documentary I'm currently making about the Highland clearances.
Bonny lass.
So if you'd like to watch and learn more about Highland culture and Scottish migration to other parts of the world, then subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy this footage of the old school and a peek into traditional living in the 18 and 1900s in Scotland. Hello, it's me again. Thank you for watching. Peter and I had such a special time and I'm really glad that you came along with us for it. Remember to like the video, and also if you feel so inclined, then you can also leave a comment with an autumn leaves emoji and we can create a virtual autumn woodland in the comments down below. But until next time, it was lovely to have you here.